Yo, what's up? It's Major from Ada's Dream, and today I'm going to show you guys how I make my 14-ounce candles. So let's go. Okay, we're back again. It's Major from Ada's Dream, and today I'm going to show you guys how I make my 14-ounce marble candles. So let's get right to it. So first, I have to calculate my wax. So I have a formula that I add to the bottom of the description. I know you guys can't really see it, but for my 14-ounce jars, boom, here we go. 14-ounce jars was I subtract 2 ounces from 14 to give me 12 ounces. That's gonna be my fill line. So it's my net weight. To find out how much wax I need, it's my net weight divided by 100% plus FL, which is my frequency load. That's how much fragrance I'm gonna put inside my wax. So what I did, 14-ounce jars, which would equal 12 ounces. So my 14 ounces is 340 grams divided by 100% plus my FL frequency load. 340 grams divided by 100%. And for my frequency load, which is my fragrance, I use 10%. I usually don't go no higher than 10%. You want to check your wax to see how high you could go, with your fragrance. Because if you go too high, you put too much inside of your wax, let me tell you what's gonna happen. It's gonna look like your wax is like, it's got this watery substance on top, and what it is your fragrance trying to come outside of the wax because you put too much. So it's pushing, the wax is pushing the fragrance out, and it's gonna be a bad look. Nobody gonna buy from you. Okay, so 340 grams, which is my 14-ounce jar, 14 ounces, which is 340 grams, divided by 100%, plus my 10% fragrance load, which is 110%. So when you do the actual the division, which I just gave you, it will give you 310 grams of wax. So I know what you're asking, how much fragrance oil, how do I figure out how much fragrance oil I need? So to get how much fragrance oil I'm gonna use, you do your net weight minus your wax amount, which equal your FO amount, which is your fragrance oil. 14-ounce jars, 340 grams minus your 310 grams, which was the wax amount we came up with, equals how much? 30 grams, you got it. 30 grams is your fragrance amount. So what I do is 30 grams, I convert grams to ounces. 30 grams is 1 ounce. So per each candle, 310 grams, I use 1 ounce of fragrance oil, and that's how you add it to your wax. And then once I get my wax, I pour it inside of my big wax machine here. I multiply, heavy, oh boy. I multiply 310 times 12 because I'm making 12 candles. It gives me about 8.3 pounds of wax. I put it inside of my machine and I let the wax melt up to give me my give me my wax that I'm gonna pour inside of here. Now what you could do is you can add your fragrance, 1 ounce per the 12 candles, and you can pour that inside of here, but it's 16 ounces in the bottle, so you gotta be careful that you don't pour too much fragrance amount inside of my container. So what we're gonna do is, once this finished, I'm not gonna sit here and let this cook while we're sitting here. It's gonna take too long. So we're gonna let this cook. We're gonna get our wax melted down inside the pot, and then we're gonna come back to you and we're gonna make some candles. Let's go. Okay, now that I have my candles made, the wax is poured. What I'm gonna do now is I'm waiting until I marbleize the candles. But before I can marbleize the candles and add the color to it, I have to wait until the wax cools off. Once the wax cools off, you could drop your liquid, your color dye into the wax, and you could give it a marble effect. I usually use like a Q-tip or something like that, or a metal rod, and you could play around with it. It doesn't matter how you do it. You can just scrape it along the sides, but I'm gonna show you guys exactly how I do it once this wax cools off to a certain temperature. And what you don't wanna pour your color dye into the wax while it's hot, because it'll go throughout their entire candle, and you'll just have whatever color you're using. Say if it's blue, you'll just have a blue candle, a solid blue candle, and it won't give it that marble effect. You have to wait till it cools, because when it's cool, once you drop that color into it, that color doesn't really move anywhere because the wax is cool. So then you could stick a rod down and you could play with it, and you could give it any particular design that you want to do, or anything that you would like. You could be as creative as you want with it. So now our wax is poured into the glasses. So now we are just waiting till it cools. Remember, I have a 14-ounce jar, and I poured at least 12.5 ounces of wax in each jar. And I like to use wood wick. It's just a preference thing. You could use regular wicks. I just like wood wick because it gives it the crackling effect when you light it. And I don't have to have anything to hold it in place like you would a wick until the wax gets cold, until the wax dries up. So that's the entire reason why I use the wood wick. So now we're gonna come back to you once this wax cools and we get ready to do the marble effect. Okay, now one of my candles is cool right here. So what I'm gonna do is demonstrate how I marbleize my candle. And I don't have any gloves, so I have to use plastic bags. Oh well, it'll work. You definitely want to have some on your hands because this ink is very strong and it'll mess your hands up. So what I do, I just drop a couple of drops on the other side of where I think my label is going to be, because I don't want my labels are clear gold foil labels, and I don't want the marbleized color look to mess up where you can't read the label. You always want to keep that in mind. So I always only marbleize like one side of my candle. So I'll take a drop here. Remember, I waited until my candle got cool, my wax. Because if you don't, the color will just get all throughout your entire candle. So now I just take my toothpick and I just move it along, my Q-tip, I move it along to the sides of my candle, just like this, and it's gonna give it that marbleized effect. And you could do it, it doesn't matter how you do it. You can do it however you like. So then I'm gonna turn my candle around so I can see it. And something else that I did, get you a heat gun and warm up your jars before you pour your wax into it. That way your jars is nice and hot. And what that does is it keeps your candles from doing something called frosting. And frosting, basically what it is when you look on your candle and it kind of has this crystallized look to it after it dries, where you did your marble effect to it, and they call that frosting. You don't want it to have that crystallized look, but to be honest, most people are not even going to pay attention to it. So it's kind of hard to stop frosting, but I like to heat my candles with my blowgun, and it helps to reduce frosting. It doesn't all the way stop it, but it does help to reduce it. So I heat up all my candles with each candle with the blowgun. You can get this from like Home Depot for like $20 or $30. It doesn't cost that much, and that's how I use it with mine. Some people like to take, once your candle solid dries, they'll take the blowgun and they'll heat the sides of it and then do the color effect to give it the marble look. But I just don't like to do it that way. This way is easier for me, but it's all about what you choose to do with your candle and how you want to do the marble effect. So right now, this is what I have. It's not dry yet. I know you probably could barely see it, but let's see here. I got some candles over here. It has a cool marble effect to it that's already done. It just gives your candle a way to like stand out for your customers. Because once you stand out and you have a good looking product, people are gonna wanna buy from you. So that's the only difference. And why I do the marble effect. You don't have to do the marble effect, but it just helps give your candle a certain type of exotic look to it. So, and that's pretty much it. We're gonna come back, we're gonna marbleize each one of these candles, and then in the end, I'm going to show you the end result to all these candles after I trim the wick, the wood wick, and I get them looking nice and pretty. I'm gonna slap the labels on it, and then my next video, you will see how I make the labels as well for each one of these candles, my gold foil labels. You will see how I design them online, and then I'm gonna show you how I print them, and then I attach them to my candles. And that's gonna be it, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna show you the end result of these candles. Okay, now I have the finished product from Ada's Dream. This is my finished product candles. And what we have right here, I'll show you one of my favorites. This is the I Love Myself candle. As you can see it up close, it has the pink gold foil label. No frosting. If you heat up your glass, it will prevent frosting. Just like I told you guys. No frosting. With the label on top, gold foil label. If you see in the previous uploaded video, after this one is over, you can see exactly how I gold foil my labels. And we have some more candles over here. It's given. This fragrance is Jamaica Vacation with the green gold foil label. And Manifest Starlight gold foil with the, Starlight fragrance with the sparkle gold foil. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the candle making business. I hope you enjoyed this, but before you leave, please hit the like and subscribe button to help the channel bring awesome content to you guys. See you later.